real flight here for you guys today. Just made it back. Just doing a bunch of things. Had a little brunch, if you will. And as a fat vegan, I had to have a good old, what do you call those things? Donut. I had to get myself a good donut from this place right here. Whole Foods. Had to get myself a nice fat vegan donut because that's what I do. Anyway, lots of things have been happening as of late, and one of those good things is the usual thing that I like to do at the beginning of these videos lately is show you guys the TikTok on the right where the followers keep going up. There's a rise in followers on that one. 1966. That was a good year. No, I'm just kidding. What I'm talking about is that we're getting closer to 2,000 subscribers, which is the goal that I set myself for the YouTube channel a while back. But guess what? We had all these things planned, and Pelosi is not even working anymore. She's retired. So all the ideas that we had never came to fruition here on the YouTube channel. We've been stuck at 1,595 subscribers, more like 90. Yesterday, we had a drop of, I think that the most we've ever had was 1,596. And then one dropped out. And then we lost 5. And then for some strange reason, I ended up going into the YouTube app and finding out that I did not have, like, I was no longer subscribed to any. When you go into the subscriptions, discovered this yesterday. Your subscriptions haven't uploaded any videos yet, which is impossible. But anyway, it's just because I'm no longer subscribed to anything. The love, the giving and the receiving that happens on YouTube is fantastic. Anyway, I'm not saying that the TikTok is the best platform out there. I'm just saying that something like TikTok allows you to have attainable goals, right? Attainable goals. We keep showing you guys these stats. And yeah, so every day, if you work at it, you put more content and all that stuff, you do stuff with a channel, things do happen on TikTok, on YouTube, yeah, whatever. On Rumble, on other platforms, on BitChute, things do happen. On YouTube, things happen for some people. Some people are banned. Some people are really not going to ever be able to do anything on YouTube. Again, I've been on YouTube since the inception of YouTube, and it has done absolutely nothing for me. I've seen thousands of channels that came to be after the channel that I made, and all the other channels that I've made on YouTube. The three main channels that I made on YouTube. There was a fourth, but it was destroyed immediately. It was destroyed. It didn't even get a chance. Just like my friend Steve's channel, never had a chance to do anything. And then I spoke to Steve again today, and he gave up. He said, "No, I can't. I just don't. He just doesn't need the stress in his life to become a, what do you call it? A social media person. He doesn't need the stress and the just the whole thing was too much for him. So he gave up on being a YouTuber before he even got anything done. I mean, he only had, like, I think it was 3 videos on his channel. Again, he put a lot of work and hours and thought into making those things. His videos were very well thought out and planned out and all that good stuff, just the way YouTube wants them to be. But YouTube didn't want him to be on the platform, so they deplatformed him immediately. So what you see here, and I'm going to have to throw this away, is a pot that we've had for so many years. But the dangers of this pot were that at some point, with heat and usage of many, many years, the plastic that you see here, this kind of plastic here, melted. And so when you try to pick it up from here, what will happen is, if you've had this for too many years, the plastic gets molten. you lift and it'll just come off. So the plastic will just come off like that, and that is what happened here. And this is why the screw is still in there, but the rest of the plastic came apart, and that was that. So I'm gonna throw that out. What other things are we talking about today? We're doing a shout out to this pizza place where we went a few days ago because of dance. Because of dance, as usual, we go to so many different places because of dance. So as we danced and pranced, we'll give a shout out to Village Pizza for making some really good pizza. And if you guys want to buy yourself some pizza from Village Pizza, you can go get it yourselves here from River Village. Is located at the intersection of Highway 76 and Mission in Bonsall, 5256 South Mission Road, so on and so forth. Or you can call this number to get yourself some awesome Village Pizza. All right, good. I'm glad I did that. Don't worry, they're not going to pay me anything. Nobody ever pays me anything. I just make videos for the fun of it. Anyway, so yeah, today I in the previous live stream, I brought you into the most amazing place ever, which is the break room. The break room for the tennis courts here in Irvine, California, Woodbridge. And the place of the name of the place, that to basically they called me a cheapskate because I donated a TV and another monitor and a bunch of other things in the past. I've donated drones, I've donated 3D printing materials, I've given away stuff that's, when I first bought it, was worth $500 and stuff like that, to the Irvine community. And so they love me so much here that they branded the channel Junk Dumper Reviews, which is really catchy. I probably should have named my very first channel Junk Dumper Reviews, and maybe it would have made a lot more. It would have gotten a lot more views and subscribes and all that stuff, because whenever you create something that is hideous and clickbaity and conniving of any kind, people love to click on it, and whether they love it or hate it, you get more views. Basically, that is the best way to do well on YouTube. And actually, I quite like Chris Cuomo's latest channel. It's kind of fun, but he was really intelligent with the marketing. As you can see, he uses CCP as part of his branding, and that is very clickbaity, especially after what happened in the kerfuffle during the pandemic. Anyway, that was very interesting choice of marketing. Again, hats off to him. He's doing, and definitely gets more views, likes, and subscribers than I ever will on this channel, because I do things slightly differently, as we know. But yeah, anyway, so I gave away a very nice TV, and today we went in, I brought you into the break room so you could see the fancy top-end stuff that they have in there that is just, like mansion ready. It's Lady Gaga mansion ready. It is top of the line Andrew Tate quality stuff. It is what Rolo jumps around in and rolls around in when he gets out in the morning in his mansion and stuff. You guys noticed that it was a Panasonic, that we've got a Panasonic microwave, which is from the Middle Ages, and a refrigerator from Kirkland, which is also from the Middle Ages. But my TV, which was from a company, I think it was either Elements or Olivia, one of those. So it was not the top brand, but again, we're talking about what's already in there, right? We've got tables that aren't exactly mansion style, lifestyle stuff. And again, as I said before, the refrigerator and the microwave that are available don't look like they would be mismatched to the TV that I gave, but I was called cheap. This is the kind of things that I need to live through in Irvine, California, Woodbridge. I get to be called trash. I get to be called cheap. But then the stuff that I gave away was pretty nice. Let's face it, it was pretty nice. It was more modern than the refrigerator that's in there, more modern, high value, if you will, than the microwave that's already in the break room. So the TV would have been just fine in there. But I am Mr. Junk Dumper Reviews. Guys, what is the world all about? I just really don't get it. And again, this is not me insulting the things that are in there. The microwave is perfectly adequate for what it's supposed to do, and so is the refrigerator, and so would have been the TV that I donated. But you know, it's just that people are people, right? And so they really, they really have things against me. So although logically it makes no sense that my TV is cheap or junk, since it is slightly more modern than what is already in the break room, but it's just because the hatred for me is so high. It is so, so elevated. The amount of hatred for me as a human being. It's just so easy to despise this human. It is so easy to despise that pesky, conniving son of a gun Mark Reviews for some reason. I'm not sure why, because again, I was despised before I even had a YouTube channel that had anything that was of any value at all. So, but it is interesting to see how people think in a very illogical manner, and then they get upset with you for doing something that was actually pretty kind, if you will. So anyway, again, I'm gonna milk the ever-loving crap out of the Junk Dumper Review channel, and I think I can't make any modifications to the name of the channel currently at the time, but I may decide to add an AKA Junk Dumper Reviews on the side, because you want to, you got to give the people what they want, right? So if they want your channel to be called Junk Dumper Reviews, then it should be called Junk Dumper Reviews. After all, you're making these videos for them, right? People don't usually make videos or things for themselves. I do, because this is a progress report of what life is like in California, of how my projects are doing and all that stuff. So for me, when I made this channel, not the first channel was all about creating high value content, HD content, just the way YouTube wanted me to do. And those videos got no views at all. Again, I had a whole team of amazing artists with which we created really fun cartoons. One was a commercial for Coca-Cola. Another one was in collaboration with another Italian studio. Again, that probably did better. But anyway, we were given a script and all that kind of stuff. So we created it on behalf of the other studio. We were going to create a lot more productions, but then the YouTube algorithm of death, as well as the other social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those things didn't work out for us. So we couldn't find ways to really monetize the channel. So I didn't feel okay with, again, the promise was in the beginning that people would work for free until things went well. And then since things did not go well, I didn't feel like it was okay to continue to ask people to work for free endlessly. And so I basically I burned the two companies that I created into the ground and just left them to die. But again, things could have gone differently if we could have gotten an ounce of support from the community here in Irvine, California, Woodbridge, but we did not, and we will never get any support from the Irvine, California, Woodbridge community. I don't know why, because we've had lots of ideas and things that we wanted to do. Is then again was trying to do a cartoon series for Rick Affrente, whose dog, Sir Champ Rick Affrente, was the local mascot dog here, and even showed up in the Ellen DeGeneres. You guys can go check it out. You can check it out yourselves, guys. It's not stuff that I make up. You guys can, all the stuff that I do on this channel, I reference to things you guys can look up. The latest and greatest thing that just happened is that experts column has tanked my 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 basically articles. I had a bunch of articles on there, which were storytellers stories. So basically, they were scripts and bits and pieces for the things that we were trying to do here with the Marvimation and Meow Meow, the two companies that I built. Unfortunately, those scripts are no longer available apparently online anymore. I just discovered this week, which is, it's just more great news, more great news. The great news never stops coming your way, is what you need to understand about news. News, the bad stuff always keeps on piling up, which is why you need to jump up in front of the camera and disclose any good stuff that happens, because it is so rare. It is so rare. Anyway, so as I said before, yeah, deal with a lot of crap. Again, there was the other video game that I was trying to show and showcase and have people at the Montessori here in Irvine. I wanted the Irvine schools to have a nice video game. Again, it's more like a simulator, like what I'm flying right now, where kids could learn in a very simple way, basic maneuvers on how to park and stuff, just become better drivers early on, because as studies have shown, when children learn things very early on in their lives, whether it is good discipline, good study habits, all those things, learn to read early, all that kind of stuff, then they are able to learn it through play, and it is not a struggle. Math, all those things. The earlier the kids learn all that stuff, the better it is, and the less they struggle in their lives later on, because again, things that are taught through play become part of you, and so then it is almost no struggle at all to learn all of these things. But of course, people don't want that, because they want all kinds of disasters to happen for some reason. I don't know. Maybe because some of the most successful people want to look down on the other people and say, well, I was so smart, I was so good. Or, you had during the pandemic, during a bunch of crisis and stuff, you had the coders gather together, and basically they were pointing and laughing at everyone else. Well, I am so smart because I chose the right industry. I am so smart because I did this, I did that. And the other people were stupid because they did this, they did that. And then, again, things change, right? It's that famous pendulum that Eli, the computer guy, talks about in his videos all day long, is that you're never going to be on top forever. It's always a continuous balance of stuff. So you may be on top today, but tomorrow, who knows what's going to happen. So gloating is never a good trait. It's never a good thing. It's a good trait to have. One should not gloat when they are in a position of strength, because eventually they could be in a position of weakness, and then people, again, because they enjoy revenge in a life of outrage and of gotcha. So because people enjoy that so much, just like in many arenas, people enjoy taking it out on the rookies. Why? Because it's fun. Because at some point in my life, I was a rookie, so I want others to be rookies too, now that it's their turn to suffer. Why? Why is that even a thing? I don't know. But anyway, this is the society that we live in. And again, I try to explain these things to help people out, to say let's change it. This is not the best way to do things. Do we really need to take it out on rookies because they're green, right? The thing they call, they're green, they're new, they don't know what's going on, so we can just take it out on them because at one point in our lives, they we were those green rookies, and so of course now it's our turn to take it out on those people instead of just breaking the cycle of stupidity, right? Break the cycle of stupidity is what I'd like the world to be like. But that's part of the reason why people hate me, is because I want people to get along. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Right? I would love for our world to be a place where people could actually get along. But that's unpopular. It's so incredibly unpopular. So what do you guys think about this amazing bird? It is the Draco. It flies so amazing. It lands and takes off on a dime, as you can see. And you guys have seen me fly, or more likely, crash endless amounts of planes. And this is in safe. We'll take it out of safe in a second. I was just saying how amazing this plane is in user error, of course. With user error, you can destroy anything. I've just taken us out of safe. So now this will allow us to do loops and weird things like what I just did there. Fantastic stuff. We can go and fly inverted a little bit more. And back up. Whoa, buddy. That was the end of that, Draco. Let's try again. So this time what we're going to do is play chess, as I said, or pretend that we're playing something else. Whoa, boom. So the idea is I haven't done this in so long, which is why I'm rusty. I will lift, then I will loop, and, whoa, no, that didn't work. I did not give enough throttle to do that, but I will invert. And then the idea is to not crash and to come back to me inverted high enough so then I can invert once more. Oh boy, that was bad. Never do that. Luckily, I didn't hit the train. I didn't hit the train this time. The train was safe. The train was safe today. Let's try that one more time. So the idea was to go up, loop over, invert, stay inverted, and then, oh man, not having a lot of luck today with the inversion. Let's see if we can do this. I used to be able to do this. I got to a point where I was pretty good at flying inverted, but not today. One more time. Up. Again, you guys, if you can go back to see some of the previous videos, I was actually pretty good at flying inverted. And today I'm just not having a good day on inversions. Okay. But I have to retrain my brain to do this. Again, this is the reason why I get upset with myself and my disabilities, is that I can learn, as I showed you guys a while ago, the Rubik's Cube. I can do it. But then the problem arises when I don't mess around with the cube for like a lot of time, and then I forget the algorithms that you need in order to succeed. And so all of a sudden, something that I could do without even thinking, even, I wouldn't say exactly with my eyes closed, but it becomes part of your motor skills. So with limited amount of looking at the cube, you could just just go through the motions, as they say, right? Go through the motions, and you can solve the cube, which I got good enough at doing. But again, if I was to not practice every day, that would be something that disappears just like that. It would not be something that I could continue to do endlessly. And that's why I also practice after I became adequate and registered, got my license as a ballet, which basically is when you're able to go to those rock climbing gyms and you put on a harness and stuff, and you can help climbers climb up. So I got certified for that. And the reason why I have ropes at home, or at least use different tools to remind myself how to do knots, is because if I don't, then I will forget how to do knots. I will still be able to do all the other stuff, but the knots are the things that my brain will just not be able to memorize infinitum, like forever. So yeah, it is what it is. It is a real thing. It is a real disability, and you just have to deal with it, right? Been dealing with that all my life, just like haters. Haters have always been part of my life. I like that dude. But anyway, I love this plane so much. It is so cool. And now I'm gonna flick myself out of safe so that I can fly inverted. Let's see. I'm trying hard not to do the penguin slide. Let's see if we can get out. We rose above. We were able to get out of that. Let's see. Let's go back into inverted. When you fly inverted, you do need a little bit more throttle than you do. Whoa, that was the end of another Draco. Luckily, I have endless Dracos that I can fly in the simulator, because otherwise, it would be very short-lived. Yeah, in real life, it would be very short-lived. If I tried to do these maneuvers, I would not be able to keep the plane for very long. Again, if I was to get a Draco, I could totally fly it in safe, just like I flew the Aero Scout in real life. And it was one of the coolest things I've ever done. It was just awesome. Had a really good time flying that Aero Scout. It took a lot of tweaking to get a proper battery to run in there. But again, I was unlucky with the battery. I didn't know a lot of things about the batteries that now I do know. So in future, I would be able to just use the batteries that come ready to run with a lot of these cool planes. But yeah, would be amazing to get my hands on one of these things. But again, part of the reason why I haven't just gone out and bought myself one is, and why a lot more people are going to have some serious issues in the RC hobby, whether you are going to fly these things for fun or for reviews, is because the new FAA regulations have gotten so bad that it will probably kill a lot of people's incentive to want to even fly RC things in general. So a lot of the channels that are already doing it, they'll probably just continue doing things as they've done, or just ignore the law, because they've already been doing this for so many years. There was no such laws in effect, so they're just going to just do whatever they can to survive. Because again, if you're bread and butter, if you're basically the way you bring your bacon home, the way you make your money is through doing reviews on planes and whatever it is, RC hobby, and there's a new law, what are you going to do? I mean, you could get certified, which is a huge hassle, because again, they didn't make the certification easy to pass. The trust certification, which everybody needs to have now if you fly anything, is easy to pass. It was easy enough that someone as stupid as me was able to pass it, so I took that. I got that done. But the Part 107 is not easy to pass. And therefore, it just is going to make a lot of problems. It's going to create a lot of problems for a lot of people. So anyway, yeah. Let's go inverted. Let's see how I do inverted right now. Let's go inverted. Lift, more lift. We're doing pretty well inverted. Inverted back to myself. Up, invert once more. Up, 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 up. Let's see. Coming back to me, inverted still. Whoa, what a maneuver that was. Oh, but that was short-lived as I destroyed the Draco on there. So much fun, guys. This is such a cool plane. Such a cool plane. The Draco. The Draco. Again, the reason why this is so cool is the size, the way it looks in the air, the fact that you can go really slow, you can fly really slow or really fast. You don't need a whole lot of runway to take off or land this thing, even if you're not that good. By using safe, you can land it. Look at that, landed it in very little space, even without reverse thrust. It'd be cooler to have reverse thrust, but this thing doesn't have reverse thrust. It'd be cool if they actually added it into the simulator. Maybe they will someday. But yeah, like if you notice, look at how much runway I needed. And again, I'm not very good, and I did a Tigger landing, which is a bounce land. But you just notice how much space there is here. This is a huge plane compared to a lot of the other smaller planes, and you're able to maneuver so well, even fly inverted if you know what you're doing. I do it very, very poorly, but I can do it in a small area like this. And look, that was a pretty decent landing. It was another Tigger landing, like bounce and land, but the real plane will probably survive that kind of landing too, because it has those very nice cushy front tires. So long as you don't smack the front blade into the ground, the propeller into the ground, you should be fine. Again, I love to fly this, and I can fly this perfectly fine. Use the simulator on my Surface Pro 7. But remember, Surface Pro 7 is not really good enough to run this thing well unless you have the unless you know what you're doing with the graphics editor in here. You have to go into the graphics for the Real Flight Evolution and set all your settings down to 0 to the least powerful graphics, because otherwise a graphics card cannot handle it. And especially if you only have 8 gigabytes of RAM, you need to get yourself at least 16 gigabytes of RAM. I think you can probably upgrade your gigabytes of RAM on this machine. So of course it's going to cost a lot. I don't remember what the going rate for RAM is these days, but I'm guessing probably like another $200 or $300 for upgrading the RAM. Probably not as much now, because this is such an old machine. I don't know which version of Microsoft Surface Pro they have right now, but this was the 7. So they probably have better graphics cards and all that stuff now in the latest and greatest versions. But in this old one, you got to know how to get into the settings manager and turn off any other applications that may be sucking away at the RAM, so that you can do what I'm doing right now. Otherwise, unfortunately, a very nice subscriber left a comment that he said that he bought Real Flight Evolution. I don't know if he had Real Flight Evolution or he bought Real Flight 9.5S, and soon discovered that it would just not run on his machine, whatever his machine was, because again, it doesn't just run out of the box unless you change the graphical settings on the older machines. So please, before you buy, check that your machine is capable of running this, and also please make sure you turn off or close any other applications like antiviruses and all that kind of stuff that runs in the background. Turn it all off before you run these things, because it's very render intensive. And so especially with graphics settings that have not been put down to 0, like what I have had to do here, it will not run for you. This is still today, of the latest date, so 2023, the best and easiest way into remote control simulated flight flying and all that cool stuff. This is still the best way in. So I thought that I'd point that out. I made videos on how much more difficult it is to run other simulators, how much more difficult it is to hook up your own remote controls or whatever onto the computer to get those to work with simulators. And this all comes together in the same box. So this is why I recommend this one so much compared to the others. Anyway, guys, that is all for today. I was showing you guys this really cool Draco. I think I may do some more videos where I fly helicopters and do some more of the fun games that are in here. Let's see. I've stopped doing that for a while because I plateaued. Basically, I couldn't get any better at what I was doing than I was doing before. Let me see. I think you go into ESC, you press ESC on the keyboard, and then it takes you to this menu here where you can go to either free play, training, challenges. So challenges, they have so many cool challenges here, but I have plateaued. Basically, I can't do any better than I can with all these things. Some of it is possibly also because it's a lot of timed. Basically, you have to beat games based on the time. And if the computer is laggy already, so you lose a lot of seconds in the time there. So I've done the best that I could. So there are some things that I got gold medals on. The hangar obstacle course, I'm pretty good at. The ring races, I'm pretty good at. I'm terrible at limbo. I'm okay at balloon burst, okay at air races, but those require a lot of speed. And therefore, if there's any lag and things like that, that does actually mess with you being able to win those. I'm horrible, but probably the worst ever at spot landings. So I was never able to get any gold medals on that one at all. Ring race, we didn't quite finish it. It gets really difficult towards the end of this one. Air race 2, balloon burst 2, never got there because I can't beat those things. Limbo 2, I'll never be able to do. I'm the worst ever at the limbo. Air race 3, it'd be nice to sometimes be able to get there, but that is probably for pros. You got to be really top quality pilot to get to these ones here. Balloon burst 2 and limbo 3, ring race 3. Maybe we'll be able to beat ring race at some point. But you know, I have actually plateaued severely on that one too. So we may never be able to get there too, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to improve on ring race at some point. And ring race and hangar obstacle course may come up with a third one. That'd be pretty cool. I love those. And what else is there? That's it, I think. Because I got all my golds in the hangar ones and the ring races. So I don't know. We'll see at some point. If again, it's always about pay to play. If you think that this channel is for cheapskates, then you want to get yourself a DJI product or anything else that's better, then you have to do the work. You have to put in the work and hours, and it's all free. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel. I made a couple of promises where I said if I was to get something like the Avata for free from DJI, if I was to get something like top end from, I don't know, any of the companies that are out there, whether it is Horizon Hobby or Hobby Zone or FMS or any of those, if I get anything that's top end, I will be doing giveaways with whatever comes out of that, because a lot of the things, as I said before, with the new laws, I can't keep the stuff. So I can do hover tests for things. I could do testing and stuff like that for the channel. But then I'm not going to keep any of this stuff. It will be a gift back to the community, which is what I've been trying to do for the latest and greatest time. I've given away at least 5 printers of the value of $500, and so when they first came out, and stuff like that. So I've been giving out a lot of stuff. It's not cheap, and although they call me the junk dumper reviews, because people are haters in my community, especially the hatred against me is unbelievable. But anyway, again, all it takes is a subscribe. If I can get this channel to about 100,000 subscribers, we can finally do something with this thing. And again, as I said before, whatever comes to this channel, whatever gift is sent to me by any of these top end companies, if I get it, I unbox it. If it comes directly from a company, then it's coming back to you guys as a gift. If not, then you guys are really the cheapskates because you're not helping. But anyway, enough said with all that stuff. As always, guys, I will see you very soon in the next video. Wow, it's already almost 11. Been talking away, jabbering away for quite some time. So this jubbernaut is gonna say, bid you farewell, and I'll see you all in the next one. Again, it's a pay-to-play community on YouTube and everywhere else. The more you help, the more you get back. That's how it works. And as you guys have known, it's always been about promises made, promises kept on this channel. It is not a conservative thing or anything. It's just the way that I've run the channel forever. All of my channels forever. If you guys follow enough of the videos, you'll see that I'm talking about the truth. And with that, I will say goodbye. Take care.